You don't believe in yourself. Simple. You've been told, or you've been fed a whole bunch of bullshit from somebody or some people in your life, whether it's culture, school, parenting, family, whatever it happens to be, that you can't do something. There's at least one podcast interview on my channel with Sean Stevenson. He died a few years ago. I caught him on a podcast a few months before. He had a tragic accident, passed away, but a little dude, was in a wheelchair, broken all the bones in his body several times, was disabled, made millions of dollars, married a pretty girl, was influential. People looked up to him. The point that I'm making here is, when you believe in yourself and you understand that your mind's eye, like the vision for yourself, now becomes the blueprint for your new life, you become that new life. You become that new guy. There's times in life, guys, where you have to act as if you're more than what you are. I'm not saying be deceptive on a long-term basis and do things that are harmful to people, but at least wake up in the morning, do the work, start taking action, and start acting as if you're better than what you were yesterday. Do an extra push-up. If you do 10 push-ups, do 11. If you're at the gym and you're there for 30 minutes, spend 45 minutes there. If you do 10 minutes on the treadmill, throw an extra minute or two on, right? Like the taking action part's part of it, but start acting as if you're better than what you actually are, right? And I remember this story. Like today, you'll go to a store if you want to buy a sweater, and you put your credit card down, you buy it, and then they send you the bill, and you're supposed to pay it off in full when you get the bill. A lot of people don't do that, though. They'll just make the minimum monthly payment sort of thing, but they've got the sweater. So the concept of delayed gratification is foreign to a lot of people today, because we live in a society where it's pop this pill, lose 25 pounds in 3 days, rub this cream under your eye, wipe away 15 years of wrinkles, sort of thing. Like, this is what people want. They want instant gratification, that instant dopamine hit. That's why porn does so well for a lot of guys. It's instant dopamine hit. They turn it on, they play, they do their thing, they're done, right? And that instant dopamine hit, it's dangerous. Back in those days, if you wanted that sweater, you'd go work, you'd go to the store, you'd put down your couple pence, or, if you're in Canada, whatever, buck or two sort of thing. And then, you go back in your next paycheck and you pay, make another installment until you were paid in full, and then you take the sweater home, sort of thing. They don't do that anymore. And marketers figured out a way to basically manufacture money out of thin air and give people stuff immediately to sort of like cater to that instant gratification and, things along those lines. And every piece of technology today, including financial instruments, is engineered to make sure that you feel a positive rush, a dopamine rush, a hit, right? That, that neurotransmitter hit that makes you feel good, right? I remember a buddy of mine, he would tell me that whenever he felt down, he would go shopping and he would buy new clothes to feel good. And that didn't change that he had shitty game with women, and women didn't want to be with him on a long-term basis. That didn't change the fact that he was fat in the clothes, and even though they were nice clothes and they look like nice clothes, he didn't look good in them. It didn't change any of those facts. But the dopamine hit when he went to the store and he walked out, from the store with a new bag in his hand, wearing it, to the office, to whatever event we happened to go to, and he thought that he looked better than he did before, right? Delayed gratification is an important thing. And I would do these exercises even at 13 years old. I'm close to 50 now. I've been working out for that period of time. And, people, I see it sometimes in the comments of the videos, Rich, you look good, you're putting off aging sort of stuff. Like, you look better than most 20-year-olds sort of stuff. Yeah, because I've put in the time, I've put in the reps, delayed gratification, right? And I'm doing the best that I can for myself so I can live in a happy, healthy body and live a great life. But that's ingrained in my DNA, and most people don't have that. They don't understand you have to put in the time. They're either lazy, stupid, or maybe even arrogant, to be honest with you. And that's why, they're generally poor, is because they don't want to do the work. They don't know how to do the work, which doesn't make any sense to me, because the resources are there. You can get the information, you can go find it, or they just don't feel like they don't need to because they're arrogant. Newsflash, we're all going to die, okay? What happens after we die, we don't know. Who cares? It doesn't matter. That's not up for debate right now. But what's factual and true is we're all going to die. So why would you spend time right now working, with the goal of making $100 a day when your goal should be much bigger? When you raise your standards and when you hold yourself to a higher minimum line, like in the sand, if you will, again, raising your standards. So when you raise your standards, then you're going to do better. And there's going to be people that you're going to have to leave behind. I mean, there's probably a lot of people around you that are okay with making $100 a day. And if you set a goal of making $1,000 a day, then you're not going to be hanging out with a $100 a day crowd or the $50 a day crowd, right? That's why I'm saying, I want you to think bigger. This is very, very simple for me to explain. This is very, very simple. It should be simple for you to understand. Stop taking advice or criticism from people that you wouldn't trade places with. Straight up. Somebody, you can only take somebody as far as you've come yourself, okay? I've been training at the dojo for a year and a half now, doing boxing. I can only train somebody else to that level, okay? I could never compete in a proper fight. I would never challenge a world-class fighter to a fight. That would be stupid, right? But I could train like a beginner, probably. So you can only take somebody as far as you've come yourself. So I'm going to come back to, again, distill it. Never take advice from somebody that you wouldn't trade places with. It's as simple as that. I mean, it's one of the reasons why I inherently knew growing up as a younger man, I would always lean into guys older than me. I always wanted to be in rooms where a guy was 20, 30 years older than me. And it was just an opportunity, and I don't want to use the term pick his brain because that's not what I did, but to develop dialogue in a relationship and a friendship so that you can learn more about the life that they've lived, the things that they've done, where they've been, and all that sort of stuff, if you know what I'm saying. So, yeah, don't take criticism from anybody you wouldn't trade places with. Hate always comes from beneath. I've talked about this before. Nobody ever gets jealous of a loser. And don't take advice from anybody that's a nobody or has only been a somebody for a short period of time. You got to be very careful with that.